Hi, everybody. It looks like I'm live. We'll see how this goes. Please let me know if you pop in here and let me know if there's any tech problems. I just wanted to go over some things here. What's been going on? I went to Alabama to visit my mother, and it was a good visit. I was very happy to do that, and I took taken some notes down about what's been going on and why I'm a big concern. And that's why I've titled this about the Big Ooga Booga. Big Ooga. It's scare, fear, panic, panic. That's what we've got. Fear buying, panic buying, the Ooga Booga. My mom and her husband, they're elderly, so I went down there. That's not the reason why I went down there. I wanted to go down there for quite some time, and I said, since I've been laid off and not getting paid, might as well go do something useful. There it is. Anyway, I learned a lot about people. Um, People generally are um, they're just people. Anyway, I learned very much about the mainstream media. No, I didn't learn. It was clarified about the mainstream media. Fear porn, lies, obscuring the truth, willful omission of crucial information. Now, I hope everybody remembers that it was for months we had the mainstream media, all they were talking about to exclude everything else. All they were talking about was the impeachment, Russia collusion, impeachment. That's all we got to hear about. And it was so bad that many of us were not paying attention to that. Some of us were actually, many of us were paying attention to it. When I say us, I'm talking about the population of the United States. But there were a lot of us who were looking at what was going on in China in mid January. If you recall, there was a huge thing going on. It was called coronavirus or COVID 19 or whatever else. And there's all kinds of different entities today that's trying to take credit for anything decent that came out of it or anything bad they're trying to blame on others. Anyway, so we had a mission of crucial information back then. People were trying to pay attention to it. Cherie and I were back and forth on text messages, and I was trying to do research with my phone because my internet was out. So I was having to use my mobile phone and the data on that, and I was very frustrated. So anyway, this last Wednesday, I think, yes, Wednesday morning, I went down to Alabama, and the news is always on. And for some reason or another, aged people will be watching the mainstream media, and they will have the news on nonstop. And I think the mainstream media knows this. I think that they are counting on it and basically betting on the aged listening and watching to everything they're talking about and doing and things like that so they can spread the fear. MSNBC was particularly horrible because that's the station that my stepdad watched for the most part. All red banners, all red headlines, everything was, all the text was in red, big, fearsome information. Um, Hello, Crystal. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate that. Yay! Appreciate it. Um, so MSNBC had this nonstop, fearsome news headlines and nonstop coronavirus coverage. It's a cold. It's a cold. Um, Let me take a look at what she's written here. She's got something key to say. Oh, thank you. And she stopped watching all news during Blind 11. I do not know what Blind 11 means, or if she's talking about 9/11. She's probably talking into a microphone. I've had that problem too with things like that. I'm thinking 9/11. And I get that because 9/11, they were nonstop showing the towers falling. And then we went on the War of Terror, or the War on Terror. I'd rather call it the War of Terror because that's all it did. I'm going to keep these on so I can read folks' texts as they join in. And I want to say thank you for joining in if you're watching. So fear porn, that's all we've gotten. They have nonstop, and it's not, wait a minute, here's the thing. It's not just the mainstream media doing the fear porn. I am seeing some of my colleagues, I am seeing people that I used to watch, fear porn, and the yelling and screaming. And they're doing this, they're doing that. If you're going to sit there and use the big bugbear, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear any fear porn. I am trying to keep my mom calm. If you use your fear porn on me and I start getting nervous, my mom hears it in my voice. Okay? So I don't want my mom to be afraid for anything. Okay? She's aged. She doesn't need this nonsense. So again, obscuring the truth. Obscuring the truth is where they were they were lying about the numbers. They were lying about the different governors and who's at fault for what. For instance, Trump is not at fault for a virus. It's not his fault. And he did the right thing. He shut down the borders, just like Russia did. Except Russia was quicker and faster and didn't give a rip what the mainstream media thought, didn't give a rip what their news agencies had to say, or what we thought. They shut their borders. And Russia is pretty squeaky clean compared to the rest of the world as in regards to population versus contaminated. So let's see what else. Anyway, so the news is nonstop on MSNBC, and I think everybody should just get off the mainstream media altogether. So this Ooga Booga Booga Booga, it's still a cold. It's still a cold. Look at all the symptoms on a normally healthy person. What are the symptoms? What do colds do with those compromised immune systems? Those with, those who have AIDS, those who are diabetic, those who are already sick with something else. What do colds do to them? Okay. Every year we have a cold and allergy season. This is a cold. Cold and allergy season gives the majority of people these symptoms. And I'm going to read them off. Runny or stuffy nose, sore throat, cough, congestion, slight body aches or mild headache, sneezing, low-grade fever, general feeling of unwellness, malaise. Symptoms of pollen allergies, because we're in springtime, folks. Okay, pollen allergy symptoms most often include nasal congestion, sinus pressure, which may cause facial pain. Let me put this down. Runny nose, itchy, watery eyes, scratchy throat, cough, swollen, bluish-colored skin beneath the eyes. There's a lot of people with that. I've got it. I'm sitting here putting all kinds of makeup underneath that bluish-colored skin, but that's not from allergies. That's because I'm very light-skinned. And a decreased sense of taste or smell. The publishers, that's where I was going. So many people have this problem right now. It's springtime. Pine pollen is extraordinary right now. People are having itchy, watery eyes. They're coughing up this pollen. You look at your car, it's covered in this dust, okay, the pollen dust, not to mention all the other pollens that's out there sprouting. Why are we afraid? Basically, what we've done is we've terrorized springtime. That's what we've done. Anyway, so there was an interesting publishing that took place in 2007. 2007, watch this. Should we be ready for the reemergence of SARS? 2007, now listen to this. And I only took a synopsis, a couple paragraphs, because this is a huge paper. The medical and scientific community demonstrated marvelous efforts. Let me widen this a bit. A little bit more. Let's try it again. Sorry. This medical and scientific community demonstrated marvelous efforts in the understanding control of SARS within a short time, as evident by over 4,000 publications available online. Despite these achievements, gaps still exist in terms of molecular basis of the physical stability and transmissibility of this virus, the molecular and immunological basis of disease and pathogenesis in patient care, effective antivirals or antiviral combinations, the usefulness of immunomodulatory agents for late presenters, an effective vaccine with no immune enhancement, and the immediate animal host that transmitted the virus to caged civets, which are a cat-like mammal. I'm just going to leave that alone. You can look it up. It's CIVETS, civets, in the market at the beginning of the epidemic. Coronaviruses are well known to undergo genetic recombination, which may lead to new genotypes and outbreaks. The presence of large reservoir of SARS-CoV-like viruses in horseshoe bats, together with a culture of eating exotic mammals in southern China, is a time bomb, they said. The possibility of the reemergence of SARS and other novel viruses from animals or laboratories, and therefore the need of preparedness, should not be ignored. Again, this study was from 2007, has warned of this exact coronavirus. Apparently, no one paid attention, or did they? Occam's razor. That's the concept that the simplest answer is usually the correct one. Occam's razor says, what are the results of this ooga booga? The stock market has fallen. While that's true, don't forget, Saudi Arabia slashed oil prices also, and that had a major effect on the stock market. People were going to local stores until the media parroted the line for everybody to stay home. Now it's the big corporate stores that's allowed to stay open and making all the money. Brain dead folks are hoarding stupid supplies like toilet paper, because that happened, thinking folks are having to buy extra just in case. Those who needed to buy some for their normal weekly or monthly shopping are having to get the big jumbo packs that they normally don't buy because everybody's hoarding. Not because of supply needs, but because they're avoiding the crowds and possible riots. We've seen the videos that those brain dead folks will certainly create. I had to buy a huge amount of TP outside of my normal purchase and actually participate in this, so that my aged mother won't have to go to the store and get in a fight over a stinking toilet paper. Now, it's not because she ran out. It's because she's doing her weekly shopping, and then when they do their weekly shopping, they have to go get their things, and that's what they get, is they get the toilet paper. But I sat there and watched everybody acting up, and it was like we were like vultures, all waiting for the guy to come out from the back because they had just gotten a truck. It felt gross. So this is what the mainstream media has done to us. Now I'm feeling gross just going shopping with my mom. Shopping used to be a fun thing we used to do back in the 90s. We'd go to the mall and, hey, we're having fun. Girl, we found this on sale. We're having a good time. And it was fun back then. I hate shopping today. Now I'm on defense mode. I'm watching my assertiveness, my posture and everything when I'm in the stores, so I can make sure that my mom is safe, because she's a little thing now. She's little. She's lost a lot of weight. She's shrunken. And I'm feeling really super protective, like she's younger than me or something, just really super protective of my mother, which is good reason. You do. I mean, it's a good thing to do. But I don't like how we've evolved, adapted. I don't like the adaptation that we've gotten now. Anyway, people are being restricted from outdoor activities they would normally do during spring. No more beaches and pools, picnics, sports, concerts, plays, normal activities. People go to church during this season for Easter. You'll see what happens. I do. I don't like it either. Here's a funny thing. People who are liberty-minded, they're acting like tyrants and saying that those who don't comply with officials should be locked up. What happened? Wait a minute. Those truthers out there that's saying that, they're usually truthers and we're about liberty and, this is the American way, be prepared, but liberty, liberty, liberty. And they're suggesting that people who don't comply with officials be locked up. Hillary's still not locked up. Hillary Clinton, that criminal, she's still not locked up. But hey, I guess it's all right now. Yeah. Anyway, the news media who always counters free speech discussions with this line, you can't yell fire in a crowded theater. They're the very ones that's emitting all this fear porn nonstop on their news channels and their tweets and their Facebook and things like that. It is nonstop, corona coverage. Excuse me, I got some coffee. Anyway, it's interesting how they are asking for more blood donations. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Why? Has there been an increase of blood loss type of accidents and events in this crisis? No, there's less wrecks, less issues. And I haven't seen any shooting incidences that we normally report on. It's all coronavirus virus stuff. Anyway, so it's interesting they're asking for this blood donations. I think they want the blood. They want the blood so they can test as many as possible surreptitiously. That's just a thought process. It's a speculation there. Okay, I have nothing to go on that except the timing. Anyway, so America is under modified martial law. Excuse me. The people have voluntarily given up their rights to travel, to be in their homes, to work, to pursue life, liberty, happiness. Okay. The pursuit of happiness actually means to engage in what career you choose. That's what the pursuit of happiness is supposed to mean. All right. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, they haven't declared martial law, but they may as well have for all the compliance that people have done, which is the strangest thing. It's like people are voluntarily pre-obeying orders that the government hasn't even given yet. Get this, the IRS and the census, which is an absolute immovable activity every, time periods in question. IRS is every year. The census takes place every 10 years. It is absolutely immutable. They never adjust time frames for that. Doesn't happen. The two governmental activities that never move have been moved. I don't know what y'all think about that, but I know this is very crazy. Anyway, so this pathogen has actually, I believe, in my estimation, I really do believe that this virus has blanketed the whole world. I think it's already happened. And if it hasn't, I think it should. Don't get me wrong. Don't misunderstand. Watch this. It should be allowed to do so. I think it should, kind of like how we did chicken pox parties when I was a kid. All right. Anyway, the people that truly get sick more than just a cold should be triaged. If it's just a cold, treat as one would get a cold. Like, for instance, take your chicken soup. You drink plenty of fluids. You drink your vitamin C's. You take in your elderberries. You take in your homeopathic things like the oxacillum. I forget how to say it, oxacillum or oxacillum. That stuff works. All right. Elderberries work. Vitamin C works. Good food works. All right. So if it's just a cold, just treat as if you would have a cold. Priority at the ER, at the emergency room, should be given to patients that are presenting symptoms that are alarming. Okay. That's your immune compromised people who are getting this and they're having problems like congested chest, they can't breathe and things like that. They should be given priority at the emergency rooms. Those people with the splinter, go grow the up. I didn't say it. I almost did. Anyway, but this makes too much sense. So my summation is that the actual virus is a fear virus. Okay? Yeah, the worst damage done to our way of life has nothing to do with that thing under the microscope. Has nothing to do with that. All the harm being done to Americans in our way of life as a result of somebody's fear, whether it be the president's or the DOJ or the task force or whatever, has nothing to do with that thing in the microscope. It's a cold virus. And yeah, it's pretty disgusting. I mean, it's pretty disgusting, the travel rate and things like that. Yeah. Anyway, so here's the thing. Here's some things that I put together that I think people should do. All right. There's going to be a lot more in later times about what I think people should do. Turn off the TV. Fear will make you more susceptible to illness. That's a fact. The TV stations are churning out nonstop fear. Why do you think they're doing that? It's because they want you to be sick. They want the dramatic numbers. They want the splashy headlines. They want blood on the streets. That's pretty much the fact. If you see the color red as you tune into the TV station, if you see the color red or red and blue during the news program, that is stimulating fear in your mind. There is a correlation between the colors that you see and what's, the emotion that it evokes. Why do you think police cars have red and blue lights? Red and blue lights. Blue calms folks down. Red activates their fear and panic syndrome or panic modes. So if you got the blue alternating red and blue, guess what that means? They're basically keeping you off balance so that you will be more compliant and controllable. That's why police have the red and blue lights. So if you see that on a screen when you're watching the news, you need to know what's going on. Okay. Red evokes the fear. Blue relaxes. If you see a combination of both, especially if it's blinking, it's basically, trying to get you into a compliant mode. So turn off the TV. Just turn off the TV altogether. Listen to nice music. It's good for your soul, your spirit. It helps you boost your thinking skills. I got to a point because I was told that I was not going to get paid. I was basically laid off because of this coronavirus, because of the actions of others, and basically I got laid off. And so I'm not going to get paid. Now the government says they're going to give you a paycheck. Trump mentioned the same. I don't believe anything. So when I see it in my hands, I'll let you know that, yes, we got paid. Okay. I don't trust. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, I'm going to get paid. Anytime I hear the word gonna, that means BS. Okay. I've learned that lesson throughout my life. So gonna doesn't do nothing. It's just talk. So listen to nice music. And that's what I was saying. So I had to go outside because I started to have a panic attack about the fact that I'm not going to get paid. I got rent. I've got vehicle expenses. I've got plenty of food. That's done. Toilet papers. That's done. I already had toilet paper. I didn't need it for, when I bought it for my mom, it was for her. So she doesn't have to go out into the world and have to battle idiots out there. I don't want her doing that. So I got toilet paper and whatever needs I've got. But there's things like electricity and internet and cell phone. I need that, So that's what I had to do. I had to go outside because I had a panic attack about it, just a brief one. And I just sat on the ground, grounded, and put on some nice music and just sat there and meditated and was quiet and breathed and listened to the birds while the music was playing. It just, my stepdad came out, looked at me. He was like that, and just walked back inside. He knew what was up because he's, and in the meantime, at the same time, I should say, for the days all prior, I had been getting phone calls from colleagues, coworkers, all kinds of people. And in every case, I was on the phone with people. I'm telling them, don't fear. Do not fear. It is what will make you catch the cold, catch the bad guy, or catch the bad virus in you. Don't fear. So, so that little bit of, panic I was having, I had to get rid of it immediately because I've got to practice what I preach. So anyway, so you listen to nice music. It's good for you. And brings you up and you're not listening to the yammering news heads. So if you need supplies from stores like Walmart, I recommend you order the products online for pickup. They will do this for you. When those trucks come in, those supplies that you ordered will be put on your allocation. It'll be allocated to you. You go to pick it up and you don't have to fight the crowds. You don't have to worry about, toilet paper fights or anything like that. It gets put in your car. You go home. Okay. Calm, sane, common sense. Make it easier for yourself and everybody who loves you. Okay. Try to do as much online shopping as possible. That is the best right there. That, especially if it's delivered to you. I got my vitamins. I ordered it. I'm trying to remember, Tuesday. I ordered some vitamins Tuesday. When I got back yesterday, they were already on the porch from Amazon. I'm not going to say what kind and all that stuff. Maybe another time. Drink plenty of water. All right. When I say plenty of water, that doesn't mean you have to piss clean water. Okay. Please be smart. Drink the amount of water that you need. You know how much you need. And always remember that this thing is not as big and bad as everybody says. 7.7 billion people on the planet. 328,275 people have tested positive. The percentage, 4.26% of the population of the world has tested positive. That's it. 7.7 billion people on the planet and 14,336 have died. That's 4.4% of those who tested positive have died. 7.7 billion people on the planet. 95,656 have recovered. 29% recovered that had tested positive. Please don't be afraid. There is no reason to be afraid about this. We should not be living in fear. Fear will make you sick. It will taste funny. It'll just, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. One blood here sending out, please donate messages. Aw. Yep. So do you need to give blood? Is some who regularly give blood, this is a good time to do it. You're not going to have to stand in line. Okay. If you were wanting to donate blood but never could get the day off or anything like that, this is a good time. What else can you do outside? Planting. If you've been wanting to plant a garden, now's the time. If you've been wanting to just go out and play and ground and learn what that's about, now's the time. I would recommend everybody just love your family. If you're with family, love on them. They need it. They need it now more than any time, especially the elders. Okay. Take care of them. Be gentle with them. That doesn't mean you have to take their nonsense when they put forth nonsense. You just, it's okay. You just lay down, your boundaries and love them though. They need hugs. Oh yeah, affection. Yes, be affectionate with your loved ones. If everybody's in the same house, in the same room, you're pretty much breathing on each other and sharing the same air. So this thing where don't touch people, okay? While it is true of strangers and those people in the store that are just total strangers, okay? But not your family. If you're living in the same house, you better be affectionate, because I'll tell you what, that stimulates your immune system. You touch your children, hug them and love them. It stimulates their immune system. When you are being loved on and you're getting, somebody goes like that with you, or hugs you or just kisses you on the cheek, it boosts your immune system. So please go out and hug and love on each other. Go out into the sunshine. If you've got sunshine, there is no excuse for you not to be out there. I'm telling you what, because I've noticed there's a lot of clouds coming in through here. I'm in Tennessee again. a lot of clouds and, overcast and chemtrails and things like that. And those of you who don't believe in chemtrails, I don't care. I know what I'm talking about. If you don't, just stow it. It just seems like there's going to be a lot of vitamin D3 deficiencies. Okay. If you have a doctor that's still practicing, if you have any means to get the blood test done for your vitamin content and see how many people are actually D3 deficient. And if you are, you need to take that. All right. I think it helped save my life. And when I say life, I'm not talking about this, walking, flesh bucket. I'm talking about my spirit, my soul is up again and I'm awake. I had been dying for years. I had been D3 deficient for years. And it does take, by the way, if those of you who are taking vitamin D3, if you're just now starting, it's going to take a while for it to kick in. Some people more so than others. For me, because I was so deficient for so many years, it took about a year for it all to kick in, and I just blinked awake. Hi, that kind of thing. And that's exactly what happened. And now I'm back. And I'm glad I'm back, actually. It's like I don't like just existing. I want to live and live life more abundantly as it's been written. And we're going to be doing a lot more here on YouTube, on Quantum Connections, on tfrlive.com. We're going to be doing a whole bunch more. And I say we as in me, I'm going to be. Anyway, so be sure to put in the comments any questions you have. I'll do my best to answer them. And again, be sure to tune in on Mondays and Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Time here on Quantum Connections. I'm so used to saying that, on Quantum Connections, which is at tfrlive.com. Again, and just click on the Listen Live. Be sure when you do go to tfrlive.com to click on iAlife. That's an official sponsor of the station. That's owned by Chris and Shree Geo. And click on that and get your CBD oil. And it's infused with Spirit of Aya. And it's very, very good. It works. I'll tell you what, guys, it really does work. I mean, I'm moving my ankles now, just thinking it's like, because they get so achy if I don't take it. All right. They get so achy with inflammation. And inflammation, at my age, it's a pain in the ass. Well, pain in the ankles, excuse me. So, okay, guys, I love you. And I've been babbling on too much. So anyway, I love you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Love whoever you're homed with. And keep breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. No fear, no ooga booga. Okay, that's what I'm calling the virus, is the big ooga booga. Okay, I love you. Take care. Bye. Where's the stop button on this thing? I don't know. I can't find it. There it is. End stream.